Hello everyone, welcome back to the SFDev. Today I'll show you one of the most powerful but underused Salesforce wire adapter, getRelatedListRecords in Lightning Web Component. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to fetch related list record dynamically without writing SQL, without writing Apex, or without any headache. So let's say you are on the account page and you want to fetch all the related contact using your LWC. So first thing first, what you will think? You will think, okay, let's create one LWC. We'll write Apex, and then we'll do the query using account ID, and then we'll get these two details, and then we can display in the data table, right? But how we can do it quickly using get related list records, or what you will get? You can records from any related list you can fetch, a specific field you can fetch, pagination ready data you can fetch, and without writing a single line of Apex. So we'll need two important things in this. One, record ID, and then related list ID, which is nothing but the name of the object which you want to get the data. So let's jump into coding without any further delay. So what are we going to do today? So our first work will be to create the LWC first thing first. So we'll create test get related list data. We'll create LWC. So first part is ready. Our LWC is created. Now the second part is the meta file. To make it available, this LWC in the record page. This is one of the important thing. So if you mark this is exposed as a true, it will be available. Otherwise, it will not be available. And then we'll keep the API version is 62. So two thing is ready, and where we want to display this record, because we want to display in the lightning record page. I'll choose lightning record page. So you saw automatically this suggestion came, and how this is coming I'll show you in my next video, or you can get this too as well. So you can see I choose record page, I'll choose app page, and I'll choose home page. So our meta file is ready. Now the second part is to get the data, and how we are going to get the data using record ID. Specifically we are going to see in this video, especially that one. So now our meta file is ready. What we need to do, we need to just come into the JS file, and we'll see how we can use our get related list record UI API. So let's see. And first thing first, what we are going to do, we are going to get the data and we'll print in the console, and we'll show you how the data comes in, and then we'll see how we can display in the UI. So I'm not doing anything on the HTML right now. So first thing first, what we need to use any UI API, first thing first we need to import it. So we'll import get related list records. So our get related list record is imported. So you can see this is the API you have to use. If you hover over here, you can see what data it required to get the value. So as soon as you imported, what we need to do, let me zoom it little bit, and so that it can be clear to you. And then first thing we need to use get the record ID. And to get the record ID, how we can get it? We can use API documentator to get the record ID where you put this LWC. Once we have this record ID, then we'll create one simple list, let's say related records, so that it can hold the data which will be returned through this related list API. And then we can use error variable as well, so that if there is any error came during fetching the data, we can store in this one. Now our main part is how we are going to use this or call this API. So to call this, we can use a wire decorator, and then you need to use this braces, and then here we can use our get related records. Once you do this, then it will ask for the parameter which you want to get. First the parameter and then the response you want to get. So to give the parameter, we'll use here parent ID. Parent ID is parent record ID is like I want to get the account, or I want to get all the contact from the account. So account is here the parent ID, because when you are writing the SQL, how we are writing the SQL, let's see. So if we need to write the SQL to get the contact, so we are writing select ID name from contact where account id equals to some id, let's say. So here account is the parent, and from here we want to get all the contact using this id. So this will be the parent record id. Okay, so one, as we see how we can get the parent id or use the parent id, we can use here as a parent id will be the record id. Then I also told you that we need our related list id, and related list id is nothing but the name of the object for which you want to get the data. So if hover here you can see parent record id and then related list id, and that it will accept two parameters, the record id of the parent record from the related list and the id of the related list. So as we gave our these value, then it will ask, okay, I have all the parameter, which data do you want? So I said, okay, if you have all the parameter, give me contact name, contact email, contact id, or whatever I require to use for my use case. So at this point I will use contact name and contact email. Okay, so now as we have our contact name and contact email, I'll use one more. It should be let me use contact id. I'll accept contact id, not the whole contact dot id. Okay, so now as I have contact id, then I'll come here, I'll write the usual method like wire related list, and then I'll accept all the suggestions. So once I accepted all the suggestions, let me do the control Z. I'll come here, I'll accept. Yeah, I'll accept it. So you can see why I am getting the error. Let me see. Okay, so okay, here I am using wire, but it's not imported. So first thing I'll need to import wire and then fine. So now it's gone. So here what we are doing, once we gave our parameter or the fields name, contact or email, then we are storing we are using the wire as a method property method, and here we are using, if the data is present, then store the data into the related records variable which we created earlier, and then if not present, if there is any error came, then give the error here and make it as undefined. And even before that, let's write one console. So I'll write the console related list data. I'll copy this one. I'll use the data in two formats. So I'll show you how this looks like. And one is related list data, and here is related list stringify data. Stringify data, and here I'll simply use data, not the json.stringify. Okay, so our JavaScript part is ready. If you want to take a look, you can see this is our the whole code. Okay, now what we can do, we can deploy this one. Let's deploy this source into the default org or whatever the org you have set up. For me this is my org. So once you your LWC is deployed, you need to come here, you need to click on edit page. Once you click on the edit page, it will take a couple of seconds depending on your internet issue. So once it's open, then you need to come here in the under left hand side in the search box, and you need to type your component name. So our component name is test get related list data. So once you click here, what you need to do, you will find your once you click here, you will find your LWC data. You need to click over there, and then you need to drag it wherever you want to use it. So our data is ready on this panel. Then you need to click on save. Once you save it, then you need to come back. So at this time we haven't put anything on the HTML, that's why you are not seeing anything here. But I'll do one thing, I'll click on inspect. So as soon as you click on inspect, we inserted one log. So you can see related list stringify data, this was our log. So this is getting displayed here. Also if you want, I can just copy this JSON and I'll show you how it was look like. So I'll come here, JSON lint, and then I'll come into the JSON lint, and then I'll paste it here, the stringify data, and then validate JSON. So you can see it's coming under the record. Under the record we have fields, and under the fields we have the value like a name value as this, email value as this, and then uh, id value is this. So this way we are getting the data. But now our point is, because this is in this way, and we need into a simple flat array so that we can display in the data table. And to do that, we need to do some mapping. Okay, and how we are going to do the mapping? I'll come here in the JS. Once you come in the JS, we need to do some mapping. So our data is present here. What we are going to do, we are going to use the map. Okay, so we'll use your data, then dot, then we are going to use our node. So what was the node name was records. So what we need to do, first we need to use data dot record dot map, and then we need to see, we need to put here record, and then we need to use arrow function. We are going to use the arrow function, and then here we will map our data. So we'll use return, and then we can use id equals to it's already giving me suggestion, but if you can see here, we are returning this. But if you can come here, and if you see here, it's coming as record, then fields, then id, and then value. So we need to map id value into that, same way for name and same way for email. So now if you can see here, our value is mapped and it will be returning into this one, related data. So now if we can save this, and if we can write one more console here. So mapped related list data, and then we'll deploy this one. So let's deploy it, and once it's deployed, we'll check it how the value is getting displayed correctly or not. So we'll come here, I'll inspect it, or empty cache hard load, so that it gets loaded. So we'll come to the console, and now you can see mapped data is getting printed into the proper flat array format. Okay, so here our data and value is present, and we can use it. So if you can copy this one, and if you copy the object, and if you come here, and if you simply just remove it and paste it, you can see our the value is coming id name and email, id name and email, and we can simply use it in the data table. So you already know how we can use in data table, but just for the learning purpose, I'll show you here. Here we can come, we'll use LWC card, and then I'll use only title for this one. Get, we have to use title, or here I'll use get related list data in LWC, or simply LWC is fine. So I'll use this, and then I'll remove this, and then here if you want any condition, you can write a template, if true, if LWC, if else, and all that. But I'm not going to use that. I'm simply use LWC data table here. And you already know the basic three fields where we need to give the key field, then data, and then the column. But we haven't prepared our column yet, so let's prepare our column first. So to prepare our column, we need to just come here, we'll write our columns, and then we need to, here we need to write label, field name, then label, email, or type email, you can keep it, or for now I'm just keeping it email, simple. So our column is ready. We'll copy this column, and we'll come here, and we'll use it, and then save our data part. For data, we need to use our related record. So what we are going to do, we are going to use get related record, and for the id, we have to use our id. So I'll use the capital one. You can use it, it doesn't mind, but yeah, I'll keep it same. So our this part is ready. What we do, we'll deploy this one, and we'll see how the value is getting populated there, right? So it's taking, it will take a few seconds to deploy it. So once it is deployed like this, what you need to do, you need to come to this our LWC page, what you need to do, we need to empty cache and hard load, and it should automatically load the data into the table format. Voila, you can see this, the value is getting updated. So I'll just close this console. So you can see get related list data in the LWC, our card title, and then the name and the email is getting populated. See, that's how you use get related list record in the Lightning Web Component. So if you found this helpful, hit like, share and subscribe to my channel Code with Anand. And for full code, I'll give my blog link, so you can just visit there and you can check the code there as well. And drop a comment if you want the full code, or you can directly visit my website. I'll give the link in the description, and see you in the next Salesforce tutorial.